Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I want to explore a little bit more with what we did in the previous video when we looked at musters, these verbal nouns as well. So just to remind ourselves, you have in Arabic, let me try and pick a different color for you. You have the verb, right? So let's pick a verb, sa'ala, sa'ala. Okay, sa'ala, which is the past tense. Then you have the yas'alu, which is the mudari, the present or future tense. So normally you would write yas'alu, sa'ala yas'alu. But you would also have its masdar. Okay, so in this case, this is something that you just have to learn. It would be su'alan. Okay, su'alan. So we know what sa'ala means. We know what yas'alu means. And we know that su'alan can be one of three things, right? It can be the infinitive. Okay, and this has like a to before it. Okay, so to ask in this case. It could be it can also be what's called a gerund. Okay, and this is basically a G at the end, if you like, or making it into an ing, asking. Or it can be a verbal noun. A verbal noun. Okay, basically when it doesn't have an element of a question in it. So just the word, for example, question, if you were to say question. So it could be one of these three things. And of course, you learn this as you progress in your Arabic in terms of how to use them, which one of the three you'd need to use as well. So we'll do that later on as well. So I'm just going to cross this bit out, rub this bit out because we don't need it right now. I want to focus on something else just after that starter or that refresher. Okay, so I want to look at ismi fa'il. So what I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at different adjectives. The first one I'll look at is called ismul fa'il. There'll be altogether four. One's going to be called ismul fa'ili, one's going to be called ismul maf'ul, one's going to be called al-sifatu al-mushabbahatu bi ismul fa'ili, and one's going to be called ismul tafdeel. But in this video, I'm only going to focus on ismul fa'ili. The translation for this is the active participle. The active participle here, right? And basically it's an ism, it's a noun that you use to identify the doer of an action or the subject, right? And because we're not looking at names here, we're looking at adjectives. So you can have two types of people who are doing an action. One can be a person itself. So, you know, a person like me, Haroon, right? But you can also have someone doing an action who we don't know their name, but we can describe them, right? So, for example, Warner. Okay, Warner, or someone, a questioner or a believer, these sort of words as well. So the one we're going to be focusing on is an adjective. So we're looking at adjectives when it comes to ismul fa'ili. Okay, so we'll give you some examples in a moment, and inshallah that will be very, very clear. Okay, so for example, let's take this word in Arabic, razaqa. Razaqa. Okay, razaqa, which means it's a past tense, and it means to provide, or well, in this case, provided. Okay, so I'll just put a translation for this word only, provided, he provided. We know that the mudari is yarzuqu. Yarzuqu. Razaqa yarzuqu. Okay, how do we turn this into an ismul fa'il? So provided, providing, or going to provide, depending on what tense you use it. Okay, but how do we make this into an ismul fa'il? It's very, very easy. All you do is put the word on this level. Okay, and all you do is, so razaqa yarzuqu, what will it be? Ra, right? Fa'il, raziqi. Okay, so raziq, raziqun. Okay, razaqa yarzuqu raziqun. It's basically on the same way as fa'ilun. Fa'ilun. Can you see? Fa'ilun. So all you have to do is make fa'il. And the translation for that is very straightforward because it's describing someone doing an action and the word is providing. we just translate it as provider. Okay, so what you notice here is you usually put an ER at the end, right? Provider. It's as simple as that. تكون اسم الفاعل رزق يرزق رازق, right? So that's how you make an اسم الفاعل. فاعل is the one doing the action as well. Okay, so that's how you do it when it comes to a past tense word. So here we have a ماضي. Okay, so all you do is you just make it like this. رازق. That's all you do. Again, just to repeat. So all you do is you take the ماضي and you just make it into فاعل. رازق. رازق. Yeah. So this is straightforward. So usually you'll find that you'll have a past tense and it will have a 3-letter word. Now, there are instances where you have a verb, which has more than 3 letters. So let me just change the color of the pen. Maybe do green. So let's think of a word. Okay, you have this word. You have this word in Arabic, the past tense. Anzara. Anzara. Right? Which means warned. Now that's a madi, but as you can see, it's got more than 3 letters. So we've got a bit of a problem here, because how do we make andara into an ismul fa'il? So all you have to do is 2 steps. There's 2 steps. What you do, the first step, let's do in steps, is you basically change the ya. Maybe I should go back a little bit, just to make clear. So when it's a madi, what you do is you go to the mudari of it. So anzara will be yunziru, yunziru, yunziru. Okay, so you do the same thing, anzara yunziru, and you go to the madi, and you do the madi in this way. All you do is 2 steps. You first of all change the ya into a meme, and the second to last letter, right, you put a kasra on it. So let me show you. Let me do it in purple. So the meme comes first, moon. This will stay the same, moon. And because this is second to last letter, it will have a kasra on it, munzirun. Right, so you have to do 2 things, 1 thing and a second thing here. Anzara yunziru and munzirun. So that's the ism fa'il. The master of this, by the way, anzara yunziru, is inzaran. Just do it here for you, just in case you're interested. It's in the run. Okay, inzaran. So that's how you make an ismul fa'il. When it's a madi, it's straightforward. You take the madi and you just make it on the same weight, the same wazn as a fa'il. So razaqa would become raziqun. Razaqa would become raziqun. If it's a word that has more than 3 letters in its madi, you go to the mudari, and all you do is put a meme at the beginning, and the second to last letter, you'll give it a kasra. So yunziru, put a meme, and then on the second to last letter, you'll put a kasra, which will make it a munzirun. Okay, so the translation again here would be provider, and you would basically say for this one, anzara, it will be warner, because the word anzara means warner, the one who's warning, or someone who warns. All right, so I hope that's been useful. Let me just show you 1 or 2 examples, just to help you a little bit. Okay, so here's a word in Arabic, which most of you will have read in the Quran, mu'minun. Okay, mu'minun. Mu'minun is an ism fa'il, right? And all it means is a believer. Okay, a believer. That's what mu'minun means. Let me pick another one. Musafirun. Yeah. Musafirun. Oops. And one of you will be familiar with this word, musafirun, a traveler. Right? Okay, that's something to bear in mind. So you have the word safara, which is the past tense. Safara, yusafiru, safar, yusafiru. Can you see this word has more than 3 letters? More than 3 letters. So we go to the mudari, change that into a meme, yusafiru, and the second to last letter we give it a kasra. That's what we've done there. So we've made it into an ismul fa'il. Yeah. So musafirun, a traveler. Yeah. And you can do this for many words. Another one, just to take you one more. Khalaqa. Khalaqa is the past tense for creating. And all we have to do for this one, because it's a 3-letter word, it's very much straightforward. You just make it onto ismul fa'il. Khaliqun. Khaliqun. Right? Khaliq. God is a creator. God is the Khaliq, the creator. Right? One of the names of Allah as well. This is one of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Khaliq. Right? So I hope that's been useful, inshallah. If you've got any questions, please do put them on. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.